Welcome into tournament number 3 of Series 1. We're leading up to the championship here, and we have our scoreboard all updated for you. Coming into tournament 3 here, we got a 2-time winner with Nice winning the last 2 tournaments, putting 20 points on the board, pretty well guaranteeing a spot for that championship top 8. Generator still at 2nd place with 4 points. Jackpot was the runner-up of the last tournament with 4 points. However, Generator has performed overall better than Jackpot to this point. He's been more consistent. Clyde coming in number 4, Behemoth coming in number 5, Witch Doctor coming in 6, Double Time coming in 7, Toxic Drake coming in 8, Lynx, our fan favorite, coming in at 9, Obatron, Pinpoint, Mobius, Blip, Atomic 2, Wanhu, and Emulsifier. We still have Mobius, Blip, Atomic 2, Wanhu, and Emulsifier without any points coming into this match, into this tournament. And they need to get on the board if they have any hope of winning anything coming up. For now, let's go ahead and get over to our bracket. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into the matchups here. We've talked about these 16 bots plenty through our first 2 videos. If you missed it, we had a good qualifying 4 qualifying rounds leading up to 32 top contenders, leading up to 16 top contenders who ended up coming into this, and now we're on a point system to see who is going to be in the top 8 to get to the championship round. Nice is absolutely dominated, but we have a little update for Nice. The Nice's team says that the motor that they usually use for their spinners is on the fritz, it's out. They're having to go with their backup for this tournament. That last match against Jackpot put some damage on those spinners, and he ended up being able to burn up that motor a little too late, as he did still lose. But Nice is coming into this tournament a little bit more of a handicap, if you can call it that. I mean, it's 20 points on the board. Generators have got a 4. Jackpot's got 4. At this point in time, it's really who's going to be competing with Nice in the tournament is really what we're looking at. So coming into our bracket, we can see here Emulsifier and Generator are going to lead us off in the first matchup of the night. Wanhu and Jackpot to follow that up. Jackpot coming in a close second in the last tournament, and Wanhu needs to prove something. Wanhu needs to get on a board. He has yet to score a point in the championship tournament of 5 here, and he sees himself in place 15, and he does not want to stay there. Nice is just here for the drive. Toxic Drake, however, comes in barely squeezing in at position number 8. So if he doesn't win here, he could see that position really drop into nothing. If Lynx or Obatron or Pinpoint Redux, for instance, gets into the semifinal round, Drake could find himself in the bottom of the tier list. So he's got to see some wins here. Clyde is underperforming as well compared to his first tournament win with his defeat over Nice. And Clyde's holding in the number 4 spot with just 3 points, but right behind him is Behemoth. And Behemoth had quite the convincing tournament last tournament. So we will see if he does any better here. He seems to just be ramping up. And next, he was taking on Blip today. Witch Doctor and Mobius looks to be one for the ages. Witch Doctor is coming in with the fort configuration. Mobius has got that spinning top, of course, and Double Time and Pinpoint Redux are here to blow up our arena full of troubling times and metal bits everywhere. Double Time famous for flipping people in the air, and Pinpoint Redux has been keeping these beaters at arm's length all tournament long. Well, let's get into it. We can't wait to see who comes out on top of tournament number 3 here. A really transitional tournament potential. It could change the entire landscape of our scoreboard by the end of this tournament. So let's go. First up, it's Emulsifier. It's Generator. Generator is interesting. He is the bot that's come up out of nowhere, and he's keeping himself in that top 8. He wants a shot at the title. It's single elimination, so you gotta wonder if he's up to it. Nice is still our odds-in favorite, even with the modifications the teams had to make on Nice. He's the odds-in favorite here tonight to still win this thing. And Generator getting off some easy, good hits. Emulsifier just cannot seem to stay off of his back through this tournament. These 2 vertical spinners just going at it. And it looks like, yeah, we got a wheel that's just popped out of Generator there, getting slung across the arena. It looks like it might have jiggled loose from the back and forth exchange they had there, but now he's Generator's going to have a little bit more trouble controlling that bot, and he's looking for the quick disqualification there. You could tell he's going corner to corner here. He's looking for that disqualification, and Emulsifier has to answer. He's getting away from that corner on top of that saw blade. Emulsifier is looking like he has had just about enough, and Generator's not quite done. He hits him again. It's still not enough. Generator is hung up on the blade. Emulsifier is seeming to have trouble moving. Oh, it's his body. His body is falling apart there. He's got pieces just absolutely flying everywhere. Wheel missing from Generator. Seems not to be holding him back, but Emulsifier does not need to keep tying up with Generator here, and Emulsifier just calling it quits. His team's throwing in the towel. They know he can't take any more. It's done. He was still up. He was still running, but they know they're about to be done for us. So they throw in the towel. Emulsifier quitting, leaving no points on the board again. The Generator coming up by 1. The Generator coming up to +5 now on this season. He's snuck himself, kept himself right there in the number 2 spot without winning a single tournament, mind you. Of course, Nice is our only winner right now, but that could change any minute. And with that, Generator moves on to the next round. Next up is a Woohoo versus Jackpot. Woohoo desperately needs a win, but his opponent that he's drawn up against here is Jackpot, the runner-up of the last tournament. He's nothing to frown away from, and by the looks of it, Jackpot has brought in his fork configuration again. He says it's winning, it's working, we're going to keep going, we're bound to win this tournament. And here comes Wanhu, who just seems to not be able to know how to win a battle since this tournament has begun. He's starting with 0 points, and it looks like Jackpot is looking for that pin against the wall. He's gotten it a few times here, but the judges in this tournament have not really wanted to give that pin up as easy. And there goes a wheel of a Wanhu getting hit by those tumbling blades of Jackpot. Jackpot piles him up on top of the hammer. The hammer's going to come down on top of Wanhu again. And Wanhu is just taking the brunt of the damage here. I doubt he can even get any traction with that steel disc that's hanging out there for his wheel. And again, underneath the tire, you can see gears being caught up underneath Wanhu. Jackpot is just absolutely got this going. Wanhu does not look like he's going to be able to get out from underneath this. He's got some kind of gearing or something hanging out underneath his RC, and it's making sure that that bot just cannot move. It looked like ball bearings maybe have popped out in the casing there. Is 3, 2, and we're down, and Wanhu eliminated once again. Jackpot going to the second round, making Wanhu look like he doesn't even belong here. I'm going to tell you now that when it comes to Wanhu, I've been told that I'm too hard on Wanhu. I've been told that Wanhu is a lot better than I'm giving him credit for. But here's the thing is Wanhu comes into this tournament. It's now the 3rd tournament. He's 0 points. I mean, we could pretty much eliminate him at this point in time. We can go to 8-mans if that's the case for half of these people, half of these bots. But we're not going to. We're going to give everybody the chance to at least steal away some points from somebody who would otherwise be in that top 8. And Wanhu is going to be looking for that vengeance. He did great in the preliminaries. He did okay in the qualifying, and now he's doing poor in the championship tournament series. So we got Jackpot over here. Moving on, we're proud of Jackpot. Jackpot has moved up. He's, whenever we first started the qualifying series, I asked around, we asked our fans, and they said, Eye of the Void is going to take this one. He's a spinner. He's got flames. Eye of Void will take this one. We heard Riptide will take this one. Riptide didn't even make it out of the first round of any tournament he participated in the qualifying rounds. Riptide got a second chance, and still he could not pull it out. And now we're looking at Jackpot here, who has been an undervalued bot in most leagues that they've been in, and they're proving that they can come out here and compete with the best of them. Now, Series 1 is looking at wrapping up in just another 4 tournaments, and you have to wonder if Jackpot is really happy with where he is in the scoreboard. After all, ending that first tournament with 0 points, has really set him back. We're going to get back to our live action here. And we are back to our bracket. We got Clyde and Atomic 2 coming up next. It's round 1. It continues. It's tournament 3. Keep in mind, my friends, that this is Battle RC. In fact, keep in mind, my friends, that this is Battle RC. It's a video game you can purchase on Steam. The models that you're seeing here were created by a mod community called Battle RC on Discord. They're a great group of people. They're super friendly. They're super welcoming, and they take requests, and most of the bots you're going to request are already up here anyway. You'll see we've got roughly about 200 that we've downloaded from that Discord server, and as our series progresses, we're going to always be able to put new faces and new competition together, and I really can't wait. If you want to see one of your bots created here, the more realistic it looks, the better, in my opinion, then please give us a contact. You can contact us at mortalnightgaming@gmail.com. You can send over those bot files, and we'll write it down, and in series 2 we'll make sure that you're featured. If you want us to feature you as a driving team, as the creator of the bot, then please let us know. Absolutely. We've downloaded so many bots from that community that I would list out who built what. However, it's so many to keep up with, and there's a lot of weird usernames whenever it comes to Discord that I have trouble pronouncing, and I don't want to butcher those great creators who do an amazing job here. Thank you for enabling us to do content, and that is it for our little in-between sponsorship, sponsor program, I guess. We're not sponsored by anybody, but I'd like to give credit where it's due, and these machines that they built are pretty great. So back into the action. Next up, it's Clyde and Atomic 2 coming in on round 1 of this tournament. Now, Clyde has underperformed a little, but he's gotten into the semifinal once in the second round a second time, and this time he's on the opposite bracket of Nice, his rival, in the opposite corner, so at best we can see him in the championship, but it's looking like Clyde is going to try to come out swinging on Atomic 2, and Atomic 2 gets himself flipped upside down. Clyde's got that side position on Atomic 2, hoping to get that fire to get in between those wheels, penetrate that shell, and get him overheating, which it looks like he might be able to do. He's got that fire just concentrated on the bottom of Atomic 2 there. Atomic 2 trying to get out of it, but flipping his flippers up into the air, just not having a lot of success in it. And down to the hammer now. Atomic 2 taking the brunt of that. It looks like Clyde is either having trouble driving or is having trouble maybe altogether. It looks like Clyde might be powered down. We might have an issue here with Clyde, and the count has begun. Clyde has been eliminated. Atomic 2 looked to have been being handled in this match, but something went wrong with... We're getting word. Clyde's team has stated that they just lost control. They just powered down. They couldn't even launch the flamethrower. They congratulate Atomic 2 on the win and say they hope they meet him again in tournament number 4. Clyde leaving out of here surprisingly with only 3 points on the board, I believe. Yeah, Clyde leaving out of here with only 3 points on the board. Atomic 2 coming up for his first points, though, so it's not a big loss to Clyde unless Atomic 2 can make it all the way to the finals, and then we could see Atomic 2 pull into that number 4 spot over Clyde even. Next up, who's going to be facing Atomic 2? It's another battle of the flippers. It's Behemoth, it's Blip, and it is next. Let's go. Behemoth has really underperformed until this tournament. Now he seems to be one of the big contenders coming into it. We have on the opposite side of that Blip. What was that? Nobody knows. Just some kind of an error there from Blip and Behemoth. It looks like their bots just kind of exploded. Blip. Now it's just Behemoth is just flying all over this arena. He can't seem to get a grip. If he keeps on flying like he is, then he's not going to have the opportunity to beat Blip here. And the counter is coming down on Behemoth. He seems to have lost control. We don't know what's going on here. It seems like these bots have just seemed to both come in unprepared for fight. Maybe their battles from 2 have taken a bigger toll on their systems than they like. If Behemoth can't get some damage off on Blip, though, and this referee count comes down, or if Behemoth can't get damage off and the timer comes down, coming down on 2 minutes, we got 2-1, and Behemoth is about to get counted out. How that worked is beyond me. It looked like Blip just exploded in the ring, Behemoth right alongside him. Both bots were launched into the air. Blip and Behemoth, it seemed as though maybe their systems were malfunctioning, but we saw just parts of bot litter that arena from the time they took off. Well, we are curious to know how these guys are doing, and Blip actually moves forward, leaving Behemoth at 3 points and giving Blip his first point of the tournament. Let's hope they can get that sorted out and fixed up before our next round here. Otherwise, Blip may be in some trouble. He's going to be facing Atomic 2. Next up, it's Witch Doctor. It's Mobius. And Witch Doctor, I believe they're coming in with their fork setup, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah, Witch Doctor coming in with those forks, ready to throw Mobius over the side, keep him on his back. Witch Doctor, so we tried the Shredder combo. It did not work for us. We're coming in here trying to win. They need to get some points on the board. Witch Doctor is our surprise entry that's expected to do a lot better. It's only setting up at 2 points. Mobius has still yet to win a match here. He's trying to get his first victory of the tournament series, but Witch Doctor's looking for that early elimination, and he did not get it. Witch Doctor thought he did, and that's it. Mobius is out. Witch Doctor making Mobius look like a child playing with a toy there. Mobius is out. He's still staying at that 0 mark. Still staying at that 0 mark. Blip moving into a +1. Witch Doctor moving up to a +3, and he's going to overtake Behemoth and Clyde. Because Clyde ended up having an unlucky run here. So we can see Witch Doctor actually come into that number 4 spot by the look of it. If all works the same way it has been going here. It's double time coming up now. It's double time and Pinpoint Redux. Double time is looking to get underneath Pinpoint and just throw him into the air. However, Pinpoint is keeping that distance on him. Double time is taking the brunt of the damage here. Did something happen to Pinpoint's hammer here? Oh no, it's working. It's just working a little slower than he wants. Both bots getting their weapons tangled up. Pinpoint knows that he could just drag that hammer on top of those egg beaters, but Pinpoint is up in the air now, and double time, that's his strategy. It's been a strategy all season long. It's get the guys in the air, let the gravity do the work for him, let those egg beaters come down on him, and try to stay away from the hammer this time. Double time going toward that hammer, and boom, hitting that rear wheel. We have to hope that he can hang into controlling his bot. We've seen before where he's gone into the hammer and he's come out with the wheel missing, unable to control anything, and double time is taking the brunt of the damage here. Pinpoint pinning him up against that auger, just absolutely lighting up the back end of that chassis with that hammerhead. Looks like it's not getting a whole lot of damage there. Let's see if we can get a different angle here. It's not getting a whole lot of damage. It's not really making full contact. Looks like the bot is keeping the pin itself from coming down. But he has got double time exactly where he wants him, and he's just got to keep controlling this. He's got a little bit over 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go, and if he can keep double time pinned up against this for that entire time, double time's either going to end up destroying himself or he's going to end up being counted out. And here we go with the 9. Oh, no, double time gets the movement he needs. No thanks to Redux, who is just pinning him up against that spinning auger. That auger just does not want to give up and tearing apart double time, but Pinpoint backing up to try to give it a shot. Double time with that quick speed gets around, but that's it. That last shot, feeding him into that auger, it was just done from there. Double time leaves out of the tournament today. No greater, holding on to that +2. However, Pinpoint Redux moves up to a +2. Pinpoint Redux right now is going to be shooting up past double time. It looks like he's going to be sitting in a comfortable number 7 position by the end of this. Could Pinpoint actually end up in the championship series here? He'd be an underdog, I could tell you that. Let's go back to our bracket and check things out. Let's give a look about We can see here we've got our first few opponents ready with Atomic 2 and Blip. Witch Doctor against Pinpoint, Generator against Jackpot. Now it's Nice versus Toxic Drake. Nice has been on a roll here, absolutely demolishing competition coming into this match. Let's go. But he's coming into this match against Toxic Drake, who feels they need something to prove, and they got that flipper. If he can get it underneath those blades, then we might actually see the end of Nice's reign here, a first round elimination, which Nice is at 20 points. Nice will win our championship round no matter what with 2 victories. I doubt anybody's going to pull off anything to knock him out. And point-wise, he'll always be in the top 8, so no matter what, he's already made it. And look at this. Nice just getting every bit of he can of Toxic Drake. The Toxic Drake cannot get out from underneath him. And there we go. He's flipping Nice up in the air now. It looks like Nice did not get as good of a chunk out of him as he would have liked to have. But he is absolutely trying. It looks like Toxic Drake is trying to pin Nice up against the wall. I believe that Toxic Drake may actually come out on top and win this. Will Toxic Drake be able to hang on? It's less than a second, and it's done. Nice is eliminated. Nice is eliminated. Nice got eliminated. I mean, if this isn't the biggest upset of the entire tournament, Nice getting toppled by Toxic Drake, it's just, whenever it comes to BattleBots, you never know who's going to win. Now, Nice, his team did come forward and tell us that they had to, put in their spare motor as their backup, so it's not doing quite as much damage as it was, but it's still doing a significant amount. You can see it still hit Drake 249 times, but whenever it came down to it, Drake just managed to get Nice flipped over, keep those blades up against the edge of the arena there, and keep it pinned. I think we found a counter for Nice. Nice is, for once, eliminated in the first round, and they're going to stick to the 20 points, and Drake moves up to 3 points. I believe it's 3 points. Drake will be moving up himself, so we're going to see some changes come out of this tournament. I have a feeling already. We're going to have some changes coming out of this tournament. I can feel it already. And we're looking at, whereas Toxic Drake was in 8th place, that moves him up into the +3 tier. And that's going to move him up, I believe, above Behemoth. Yeah, because Blip took out Behemoth with that odd double explosion that those two had. So, yeah, Blip moves up, Behemoth is down. So he's going to move. It's going to move Toxic Drake into the 5th spot if all things transpire the way they're looking. Now we're getting ready to signal our last competitors for the first round. It's Obatron, it's Lynx. It's a matchup that has been made in heaven, and people have been waiting to see this go. So let's go. I know I have. I've been wanting to see Obatron and Lynx since they both got into those qualifying rounds. I want to see more of them. I love Obatron's speed and Lynx's speed. I feel like they're evenly matched bots. Even though one's an egg beater and one's a vert spinner, we've got the egg beater sending Obatron into the air with Lynx just on the attack. He's got the win here if he can just let him get the pin, but it doesn't look like Lynx wants that. Lynx wants a fight, and now both of them on their backs. Neither one of them do good fighting from their back. We can see Obatron's got a little bit more damage on him. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and there Obatron kicks himself up. Lynx gets himself kicked up for a second. It's like Obatron's just trying to help Lynx get to his feet right now. This is just a friendly battle, I'll tell you that. Probably the friendliest we've seen in the tournament. There's definitely a technical issue going on with Obatron. It looks like he's not able to move. Something has got to be going on with his drivability. This tournament has just been hell for the internals on these bots coming in these rounds. And the count is starting on Obatron, but he's getting a little bit of a shuffle. Lynx is just always having trouble whenever he gets onto his head. And now he's coming, he's spinning up. He could really use another set of wheels on top of him. But he's making his way over there, just slowly but surely. He's making his way. And he hits Obatron on the side, spinning up. We got less than 2 minutes left to go here. It is almost a stalemate between these two. We knew it was going to be an even fight. We knew it was going to be a good fight, and Lynx finally gets up. But Obatron seems to not be able to really move, and Lynx wants to take advantage of that. Looks like he's trying to get Obatron shoved underneath that hammer. And it is, but Lynx, he comes and meets his hammer. I swear, there's got to be a shirt. Lynx loves hammers. somewhere out here. Link's having trouble with his control now. And Obatron getting flipped back across the arena. You have to think that Lynx is going to take this home if it goes to the judges. But you never want to leave it in judges' hands. You never know. And another hammerfall coming down on Lynx. That's going to even up that damage dealt if he doesn't get out from underneath that hammer. Lynx could lose this on a judge's decision at this point in time. But Obatron going back up and into the auger. Lynx is trying to end this. He's got less than a minute to do so. And now Lynx back up on his back. He has just had hell whenever it comes to keeping that thing front-sided. And now he's got Obatron. He's pushing around. And Lynx underneath that hammer again. Just cannot learn his lesson. He's putting himself in danger every time. Flipping Obatron up. Keeping him on his back. And those blades keep hitting Lynx every time he makes those hits. This is an evenly matched pace whenever it comes to damage. Except for until now, where Lynx is finally getting him up into the air, and he's over into the elimination square with 20 seconds left to go. Obatron is eliminated, and Lynx moves on. Giving Lynx 2 points here. Obatron staying at just 1. Obatron is really, through 3 tournaments, I expected him to be placed up in the 4 tier, 5 tier. By now, he is barely hanging in there. He's number 10, and Lynx is moving up to that +2 tier, so we'll see if Lynx will even budge, because we have a lot of winners coming out of those upper tiers now. And next up, our last match of round 1. Or our first match. It's Jackpot and Gravitron. Or Gravitron. Generator. Oh, man. Alright, with that, that's the end of round 1. Now we're going to be getting into round 2. We're looking at whenever we come into this game and we expect to see some action, and Tournament 3 really flipped everything on its side. I mean, Emulsifier, we didn't expect them to take on Generator and win, but we were hoping that they would because they need that point. Jackpot absolutely owned Wanhu and made them look like they had never even driven a bot before. I feel like Wanhu's just momentum has really died down in this tournament. However, Nice and Toxic Drake are really coming out, and they swinging for the fences. Nice gets flipped over, and Toxic Drake just has figured out a strategy and eliminated Nice in the first round. We expected Nice to come out of this tournament a winner as well. I'm not going to lie with how dominating he's been throughout these tournaments so far. Obatron and Lynx getting that victory, but just kind of barely. Obatron wasn't able to move through most of that match, but every time Lynx threw Obatron in the air and would try to get that second hit, those vertical spinners from Obatron would just tear into Lynx. Next up, we got Atomic 2 and Blip. 2 flippers going at each other. Atomic 2 has been a favorite coming into this. He's getting his first win of the tournament series here, getting his first time on the board. So is Blip. However, Blip had a nice explosive time last time in the ring, so we have to hope that they fix that problem before we get back to a match with another flipper, for instance. Witch Doctor coming in and winning a match against Mobius. As expected, coming back with those forks, they said, you know, we had a lot of fun with the Shredder, but we just had more success with these forks. And they're going to go up against Pinpoint Redux, who ends up pulling off an upset against Double Time. So now let's go ahead and go to our scoreboard. Okay, our scoreboard here is reading Nice, of course, in first place with 20 points. Generator stays in second with 5 points. Jackpot, though, moves into third with 5 points. Toxic Drake moving up to 4th position. Make sure I got all my numbers right there. Yeah, Toxic Drake moving into 4th position over Witch Doctor with an impressive win over the first position contestant. Clyde moving down into 6th. Behemoth moving into 7th. Lynx barely popping up with that +2 over Double Time as he's still in the tournament at that 8th position. If Lynx wins this next one, he can end up seeing himself in the top 8 pretty easy. Double Time falling behind into the bottom 8 with +2 points. Blip, Pinpoint Redux, and Atomic 2 finally get their first wins, and they move on to the next rounds. Orbitron, he's sitting at 1 point, moved down all the way down to 13th position. Mobius Wanhu and Emulsifier pulling up the last of the pack with no points gained yet through 3 tournaments. So you have to wonder if they're not just kind of, they've got to basically win one of the next 2 tournaments, or they do not make it into the championship series, more or less. I mean, you have to be top 8, and right now our top 8 sitting at a +2 and still in the tournament. So you can guarantee the top 8 by next round is going to be at least a +3 or +4. We hope that it ends up to where as many of these competitors can get in that need to get in, but you know, we have our points set up for a reason, and now we're going to get back to the bracket. We're going to get back to round 2 here. First up is going to be Generator. It's going to be Jackpot, and they're all for the go. Generator and Jackpot is going to be a great matchup for this tournament. Jackpot has really been on fire. He hasn't won a championship yet, but he came in second last time. And now Generator, the other contestant that Nice beat, is right in front of him. But that's where he has the advantage over Generator, and now Generator's hooked up and stuck inside of that auger. Jackpot has got those forks, though, and he is just sending Generator everywhere. Generator cannot get that weapon spun up, and Jackpot is just keeping him going. He's trying to set him up now behind the hammer, but the hammer comes down on top of Jackpot, stopping the momentum in its tracks. Jackpot looking to try to get control back. Generator is looking like he's getting hung up. He's having trouble even get some of those on the ground. And we have Jackpot going in to keep him underneath that hammer. Generator doesn't look like he is being able to move. He's propped up on that edge, and Jackpot is just trying to keep him pinned there, or is Jackpot busted? And it looks like Jackpot's just having trouble controlling his bot altogether. A close-up there, yeah, he's got all of his wheels intact, but he is definitely having some trouble. Maybe that chain has come dislodged off of those wheel sets, and that hammer comes down on Generator and Jackpot together. Generator is looking to put some massive damage right into the side of Jackpot here. Can Jackpot overcome Generator, though? And it's an evenly matched match up to this point, but it looks like Jackpot's going to be eliminated right here. Generator comes out, pulls the victory out, and ends up coming back to win this one. What an exciting fight. Wow, I can't believe that. Generator just absolutely turned the table on Jackpot there. Just Jackpot had control from the start. Those flippers sending Generator into the air, and now Generator turns around and flips Jackpot right into elimination as he's looking at losing the battle. What a fight. That's the end. Our first semifinalist is going to be Generator. Now, with no Nice to stop him, will Generator come out on top? Next up, it's Atomic 2. It's Blip. Whoa. Now, with Generator moving on next and first in the semifinal, we're coming up to Toxic Drake. We're coming up to Lynx. And one of these are going to have to meet Generator in that match. Now, Toxic Drake surprised the world just now whenever it defeated Nice. It definitely came in as the underdog, but every time Toxic Drake, you count Toxic Drake out, they come in swinging even harder than they would have before. That's why they're the 4th position right now in the poll. So next up, it's Toxic Drake. It's Lynx. Oh no, sorry. It's Atomic 2 and it's Blip. That's up next. Toxic Drake and Lynx will have to meet up to face on Generator, but first it's Atomic 2 and Blip. It's easy to make those mistakes whenever it comes to this. Atomic 2 with that flip. Blip exploded earlier, and Behemoth did as well, though, so we have some malfunction going. Hopefully Blip is over it, and he is. And Atomic 2 just takes Blip into the air. Yeah, the bot team from Blip is saying that they're not sure what happened. Behemoth and Blip were charging on the same charging board, and it appears as though, well, Blip gets a good elimination there, coming out aggressive on Atomic 2. Leaving Atomic 2 at just a +1, but Blip is going to go and pick up that 2nd point of the night. And you got to wonder how far they're going to go in this tournament, especially now. But Blip said that him and Behemoth have been charging their batteries on the same block there, and it appears that that block had overcharged both their battery packs, so Behemoth just was the unlucky one to get counted out. He still had some mobility, he still had some movement, but he definitely didn't have any control, so shorted circuits all around. Blip with that little explosion, and now Blip explodes into the next round, into the semifinal round after defeating Atomic 2. Could this be a battle of the flippers for the championship? Could we see Toxic Drake, and could we see Blip in the final? We'll have to tell and see. Next up is Witch Doctor and Pinpoint Redux. Witch Doctor has been a very dominating bot all season long, so we expect to see Pinpoint have a real handful coming in with only 1 point to their name. Who's going to go on to the semifinal round? And Pinpoint Redux driving that that hammer into Witch Doctor, trying to get to where he needs to get get these points. And he moves up. Another pinhead drop. But Witch Doctor looks like he's using those times to his advantage to keep control of Pinpoint Ducks, which is really what Pinpoint's done of most of his opponents. It looks like he's slowly working him over there to that hammer. If Witch Doctor could get all of his wheels touching the ground, you got to imagine he'd be doing a little bit more damage. But Pinpoint now is just driving the head of that hammer down into Witch Doctor. And Witch Doctor, I don't know many more hits it can take. It's getting hit hard. Witch Doctor charging back in, but Pinpoint now is in the perfect position. He's got those spikes just driving through Witch Doctor's chassis, and you can tell Witch Doctor's almost had enough. This is about to end at any shot now, and that's it. Witch Doctor is eliminated in the first round. Witch Doctor is in the second round. Witch Doctor sitting back on a comfortable 3 points, but that may not be enough. Pinpoint Redux moving up to a 2-point advantage for this tournament. He's in the top 2 tier now. He's pulling ahead of Double Time. He's up there with Lynx. If he can win the semifinal and up in the final, we're talking about pulling into the top 8. Pinpoint Redux trying to move on. Now, this is a very competitive tournament. Tides have truly turned, seeing Nice be eliminated in the first round like that. And next up, it's Toxic Drake, it's Lynx, it's my matchup of the night. Let's go. Toxic Drake has just been impressive through this entire series. Just whenever you start to doubt him, he starts to come up, nearly winning the last tournament, pointing up high enough to get into the top 8, top 5 really. He's number 4. And Lynx here is just trying to show everybody why you shouldn't count him out, why you shouldn't put Toxic Drake ahead of him in the rankings, because Lynx is keeping him. He's going to put him into what I like to call the poor man's elimination. Just keep him pinned behind that hammer. He knows that big tail and that big flipper and small wheels are not going to help him whenever it comes to moving around this arena and off of those corners. And he's up. Toxic Drake almost touches the elimination surface. Lynx has been looking for that elimination since the last qualifying match he had, and he just cannot seem to get any of these bots in there, and he's going back up. Toxic Drake almost nailing that tail. That's how he lost last time he lost, was hitting that tail into the concrete and getting that immediate elimination. This is an evenly matched fight whenever it comes down to the amount of damage each bot has taken. Lynx looking like they're having a little bit of control issue here, and that could spell disaster for him, especially with that big flipper on Toxic Drake. And now Lynx getting underneath Toxic Drake. And Lynx getting a little bit of power. Toxic Drake gets a flip over. It lands on the blade, though. Taking that damage is not fun for Toxic. And Lynx, it looks like Lynx is having trouble maneuvering. His egg beater seems to be bouncing off of the ground more than it is off of his opponent. There definitely was some bending on that. And Toxic Drake, it looks like they're taking control of this match. They're proving to everybody that they belong here. They're putting a contender into the air, and he's destroyed on that last flip. That's it. Lynx's camp is saying that he is done. They cannot maneuver him any longer. A favorite to win these tournaments, and he is getting eliminated by Toxic Drake. That means Toxic Drake moves up to a 4-point advantage, while Lynx stays where he's at or moves down with only 2 points. That is, my friends, that's a turn of events right there. Whenever I'm looking at Lynx, I'm always expecting Lynx to pull out the victory somehow, and simply could not get it done. So let's get over to our scoreboard. Let's get updated. And let's make sure that you guys know who's in our top 8, who's going where, and how the landscape is changing as we go into our semifinal round. And as we can see here, our scoreboard is starting to pan out pretty well for us. We got the top 8, and really it's a battle for position 8 here, because Pinpoint Redux coming up with those 2 points, pulling ahead of both Double Time, Blip, and Lynx. Blip, we did not place above Double Time because Blip just has not had that much of a success coming into this tournament, and this is his first taste of it. Meanwhile, I feel like Pinpoint Redux is kind of shown that you can't really ever count him out, so we're putting him in position 8. He's been holding a better control while damaging Grip as well than Blip. Blip seems to want to either just hold them still, or he wants to pin them against a hammer. Like, it's not, I mean, I understand that's the way the bot is built, but we could be a little bit more offensive there, Blip. So whenever you are, you're a damaging beast, and you end up demolishing your competition. Now, sitting at number 1, of course, is Nice. Number 2 is Generator. 3 is Jackpot. 4 is Toxic Drake. Toxic Drake is our surprise. That's running up the rankings here. He was looking at being dead last coming in, just about. And now we got Witch Doctor at 3 points, number 5, Clyde at number 6, Behemoth at number 7, and Pinpoint Redux sneaking in on 8. That's the thing about this and these points. Nice may not win another match for all we know, but he's going to be in that championship tournament. He's still got the strongest weapon on the field. He's just got to manage to get that weapon on top of him. We've also ruled within Mortal Night gaming regulations that Nice is going to have to stay at his current speed for his weapon. We're actually going to start denying anybody who has got such a fast revolution. We're going to limit the revolutions coming into this tournament, make it a little bit more competitive. But Nice made us realize that whenever you don't have any regulations at all, it kind of can become one-sided. Nice has officially won 6 tournaments in the entire game since I've started it. So we're looking at prelims, we're looking at quals, and we're deciding that Nice is going to have to stay a little bit toned down from what he came into our league looking like. Now, let's go ahead and get back into our bracket here, because we have got our semifinal rounds ready to light off. And those semifinal rounds are looking like it's going to be Generator and Toxic Drake up first. Blip versus Pinpoint Redux. And how fitting is it for Generator to be taking on Toxic Drake? Generator coming from a supplementary round, getting into qualifying 4, making it far enough in 4 to be able to qualify for the top 16, making it far enough now that he's sitting at rank number 2 with plus 6 points. Nice is the only thing that's been able to stop him, really. And now Nice is eliminated in the first round. So it's going to be Generator and Toxic Drake. Generator's already taken out Jackpot, which is considered to be our next best. And Blip or Pinpoint Redux, either one, are going to have their hands full. So let's get this semifinals round started. Generator and Toxic Drake. Generator is just a surprise and a half for me. I really enjoy the design that they built him into. Here, I like the way he attacks, I like the way he fights, I like the way his weapon works, and the amount of damage that he does is just absolutely ridiculous, but it's not so over the top. And now we got Toxic Drake already throwing his competition up on the barricade there. Drake knows that if he doesn't take control like that and look for those pins and those countouts, though, that there is a good chance that Generator is just going to run away with this competition. And he's going to go into the finals instead of Toxic Drake. This is the closest Toxic Drake has been to winning one of these tournaments, and he wants that 10 points on his board. He wants to know he's going to the championship. And Generator up in the air. Toxic Drake is just, he's getting every angle he needs to, keeping away from the front of it. He's avoiding it at all costs, and it looks like Toxic Drake and Generator are both having some issues controlling their bot now. Generator, especially after coming down out of the sky, I imagine Toxic Drake did some damage there. But Generator is staying on Drake, sending him into the sky. Just how does it feel? Yeah, use your backflip. We're going to try to get upside down, and Toxic Drake is destroyed by the hammer coming down. Wow, what an exciting match. I mean, Generator really he just went in there looking to fight. He was hoping for durability's sake to last him, and Toxic Drake really did almost pull out the victory there. Toxic Drake almost left Generator just hands in his pocket. You can't really ask for much of a better ending than that. My goodness. I mean, Toxic Drake has been impressive throughout this entire tournament through qualifying. After qualifying, he also, only had that one tournament. He got into tournament 4, ends up coming in with enough points to be able to come into the championship. He's not quite as impressive as, Generator there, only getting one tournament, one opportunity, but still ends up pointing in favor. Now, with this point system being what it is, Generator, if he can get a point here, he'll be within 4 points of Nice for the #1 position, and they'll both end up being qualifiers essentially for the championship series. There's only 2 tournaments left, and with 2 of those first tournaments being taken up by Nice, this one is one that matters. Nice will be back next tournament in tournament 4, but these guys have a chance right now to go into the finals and take that 10 points for themselves over the crowd favorite. Next up, it's going to be some of our favorites. I like Pinpoint Redux personally. Just a big fan of his personally. And he's going to be going up against Blip. So who's going to be meeting Generator in the championship round here? Only time will tell. Let's go. And it's Pinpoint controlling the battle here, driving Blip into the wall. Blip is having some trouble with his flipper and getting the correct angle to be able to affect that hammer. Blip has also been taking the brunt of the damage here from Pinpoint. I believe the last time these two met, Pinpoint actually won. And Pinpoint is looking to get into that championship. If nothing else, he's looking for the 4 points to accompany him out of this tournament, so he can get ever closer to staying in that top 8. Pinpoint Redux is just absolutely hammering Blip here. Blip, who is looking like a series champion, is really just hanging on to that grass for dear life. Again, just you see Blip just goes right into attempt to take control, and once he gets the opportunity to get them wedged, he just keeps it there. It's been his downfall, because in almost every case that he's done this, if it's gone to judge's decision, which it looks like it might be, it's under 2 minutes now, he has lost because he ends up taking the brunt of the damage going into this. He needs to throw on the reverse. He needs to stop with this control. You can see Pinpoint Redux is trying to back out, but he is just staying on, and now he drives through. Blip going up and under him, and now Pinpoint has got Blip getting those hammer shots directly nailed onto the head there of his bot. And that's it. Blip has got him tangled back up. We're coming up on only 1 minute 20 seconds left in the round, and Blip is looking like he is comfortable just being here, just controlling the flow, the pace and the flow in the ring, in the arena. And I feel that Redux is looking for that win. He's looking to damage Blip to the point where he can just say, forget it, I'm not putting in the judge's decision. There's hardly any visible damage on either one of them. But you have to imagine that those hammer hits got to count for something coming into a judge's decision. Well, who will meet Generator in the final for the championship on this? Blip's best chance yet. Pinpoint Redux looking for that 4-point minimum gain out of a championship round, and that hammer almost comes down. Absolutely almost comes down on top of Pinpoint Redux. Blip trying to get control back. He's trying to get back in that position, but he's not going to. We got 20 seconds left, and Blip is looking a lot worse for wear here. But Pinpoint Redux seems to be taking some damage from Blip as he's pushing against each other. 8, 7, thank goodness, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, if Blip doesn't start showing some attack quality here, he's not going to end up being brought back into Tournament Series 2. He might. But we could see a supplement being made for Blip in a hurry. Blip is he is all bark and no bite. That's all he does is bark. He tangles up his opponent. He hopes for a judge's decision. But the judge's decision just do not seem to come. While he is known to be able to play aggressively and get in there whenever he is cautious, he just does not do fantastic with cautious. What I've noticed about Blip is some matches he is just amazing and he drives his opponent into the wall. He grinds him into the gears. He holds him underneath hammers. And then he comes up against somebody like Pinpoint who also does a control scheme. And instead of trying to get the control to get underneath him, he ends up opting for the tangle up in front of me and let me hold you control. Now, granted, Blip has got these tines on the front here who do a little bit of damage to the robot as it's tangled up. But whenever you're not overpowering anybody, I really don't feel that that's necessary. I'll be interested to see what we see as Blip 2 comes looking for Series 2. Will Blip come under the same design, or will Blip end up being a totally different bot altogether? We'll see. But either way, we're going to go ahead and get back to our bracket here. And that is it for the semifinals. We're going to have Generator and Pinpoint Redux in the championship. It's going to be a pretty stout championship if you're to ask me. I'm going to say I'm going to go Generator as my choice, but Pinpoint has surprised us in the past, and I did choose Blip over Pinpoint earlier. I like Pinpoint. I like Blip, but I was thinking that honestly Blip was going to come out aggressive. He came out against Atomic 2, super aggressive, slams him into the wall, gets his flipper. I mean, just absolutely ramping up to destroy him, and yet nothing can come out of him. It's done. Atomic 2 ends up, Pinpoint ends up getting tangled up with Blip. Blip goes back to his old style, and if Blip would just leave that defensive strategy alone, he would end up taking some of these tournaments, I guarantee it, because he's such a strong bot whenever he's ramming these other bots. Now with Generator and Toxic Drake, I was shocked to see Toxic Drake end up losing that in the fashion he did. He started to gain some control back there at the end. And Toxic Drake came out ready to play. He came out ready to fight. He came out ready to move into the championship round of this. But Generator just proved to be too much for him. That massive top weapon, you got to imagine Pinpoint's got to be shaking a little bit. We have a vert spinner against a hammer drop. And that Pinpoint hammer it's nothing to laugh about. It's nothing to joke about. But I promise you that vert spinner is more of a concern than that hammer is. However, where Pinpoint Redux has got the advantage is those tines that stick out in the front of his bot. He can keep Generator pulled back, pushed back, so all that's hitting is his hammer, and that's what he's managed to do. You can see him kick off a lot of damage off of one hit if he gets the right hit at full swing. We'll see if Generator lets him get that far. Let's go over to our scoreboard. Let's see where everybody's lying now. I'm telling you, this championship is just going to line up solid with Pinpoint Redux against Generator. But let's go over to our scoreboard. Like I said, let's peek in here and let's take a look. So Nice came out swinging, winning T1 and T2 both. Nice's motor breaks down coming out of T2, though. They had to use their backup. Now, I understand that we are mid-tournament. They have managed to find a replacement for the original motor, but we are not going to allow them to. We feel that the rotations per minute that they're reaching now is still significantly higher than any competitor and allows for our competition to be a little bit more competitive. Nice agrees to this. They understand they're already qualified for the championship round, and Generator coming in second, who got eliminated by Nice in the second round last tournament, is looking at a +7 as he coming into the championship. Jackpot is holding a +5 at third place. Toxic Drake has moved up from the bottom of the barrel all the way up to 4th spot in these tournaments. He's gained 4 points. He's ahead of Pinpoint Redux by 3 points, but Pinpoint is going to be gaining a point out of this no matter what, if he wins or if he loses. Generator has got a chance to get up to, he will be receiving 14 points whenever he comes out of this tournament, if he comes out of this tournament winner, and Redux will be sitting at 11 points if he comes out of this tournament a winner. So we're excited to see who's going to be following up behind Nice, because Generator very well could pull ahead if he wins the championship here, and then he turns around and he points well in the 4th tournament. He could pull ahead of Nice, especially if Nice is eliminated early. I'd also like to see, because again, we're going to have our double stack. So we're going to be looking at all odds will be paired up against each other in the next tournament, and all evens will be paired up against each other in the next tournament. So after this is done and over with, we will see who's going to be facing who. Enjoy the last of this round as we switch back over to our bracket and we go live back to Battle RC, Mortal Night Gaming Battle RC Tournament Series number 1. Tournament 3 of 5 championship round. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you don't remember or you skip past it, Battle RC, check out their Discord. This is where most of these creations come from. We'd like from this channel to sincerely thank those creators, and we encourage you to go look at their work. It's all free, and they really just have a passion for it. So before we get into this championship match, I'd like to dedicate this championship match directly to the Battle RC Discord group. Thank you all for your creations and providing me so much entertainment. And thank you everybody for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, and go check us out on Twitch. Go check us out on X at Mortal Night. GA1 is that address. We'll see you inside Battle RC. Okay, here we go. The championship round is on. Generator versus Pinpoint Redux. Generator has got a real chance to win a championship here. He's obviously the favorite, but Pinpoint seems to be using those tines wisely and seems to be using that hammer wisely, landing him here in a championship opportunity. So you can't count him out. And you can see here, Redux has taken some damage, but we're not sure how Generator isn't getting hit by that hammer on the very head of his weapon. Pinpoint going with kind of blitz strategy now, kind of just trying to push him and control him. Pinpoint's starting to win the fight here too. It may just be, no, they look like they may be hung up. Generator looks like he's backing up, and it looks like Pinpoint is too, they're trying to separate, they're not able to. Again, we can't get in there to separate them, folks. We have to let them sort this out. And right now, Pinpoint has got more damage showing, but he could change this tide of this if he would simply get free here. And Generator looks like he's about to break free of Redux. It's that bottom tine. It's just got him wedged. That pin hammer coming down onto Generator's vertical spinner. This championship round is turning into a defensive one as these two just are staying tangled up and staying locked up. Pinpoint looks like he might be trying to drive Generator a little bit. Now Generator he's moving the wheels in the opposite direction. They're pushing against each other now instead of trying to pull apart from each other. Pinpoint made Generator have to step back for a second, reevaluate. Now Pinpoint is trying to angle Generator into an eliminations zone, and Generator is still not able to get any real serious damage off here, but Pinpoint is landing some heavy shots, and now he's going in for the kill. He's going in for the elimination. We've seen it before. He's going to get underneath Generator there, get those hammer shots, and with any luck, he'd be pushing him in with his hammer into the elimination zone. How Pinpoint has turned his slow slamming hammer into a flip bot is beyond me, but it has worked. And so far, Pinpoint is really showing people why they should not have odds favorites. Generator is coming down in durability. He's looking like he's going to be taking this tournament home to repair his spot. Meanwhile, Pinpoint, while he's taking some damage, is definitely trading that little bit he's taken for a lot more dealt. Pinpoint is just controlling this championship match from start to finish. They got 35 seconds left. And if, in all honesty, if Generator doesn't get some damage done on Pinpoint, we could be looking at a new champion in Pinpoint Redux here, going in with that plus 10. And Generator's up against the Augers. He doesn't have much left. Pinpoint is holding him there. He's waiting for that countdown, but he's not getting it, so he's going for it, and that's it for Generator. Is destroyed. Our new champion is Pinpoint Redux. Holy cow, our new champion is Pinpoint Redux. How that happened is beyond me. Pinpoint comes in with almost no points on the board and quickly shows up and quickly turns into a number 2 on the board. He's got a plus 10. Generator coming in. He's going to still have a plus 8 at the end of this roundup. But we have got to appreciate our winner and our surprise winner at that. We finally have a Cinderella win. We have Pinpoint Redux claiming the title for the 3rd tournament and getting that 10-point margin. He has got a huge advantage going forward from now on. Nice is he's the only one who he's second to, and that is surprising after a first round elimination in the first tournament. Not a great showing in the second, and Pinpoint Redux just comes in. Like I said, whenever it comes to bot battles, you cannot count out the people that you think will not take it. You cannot count out these bots. It doesn't matter if they're flipping. If they've just got a hammer that slowly drops down, the weight of that hammer means a lot. So we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and do all that fun stuff. Share it. Let people know we exist. If you had fun here, let us know. If you've got a bot that you'd like to see whenever Series 2 starts, please drop it down below because we'll be interested to hear what you have to say. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Be kind to one another. We'll be back for Tournament 4. We'll be back for Tournament 5. And then we got a championship tournament to crown the first champion, the first person, the first bot that will be disqualified from Tournament 2. Be safe, be humble, be knowledgeable, and go out there and be kind to one another. Later, everybody.